A 90 days brute force approach to student loans and a repayment approach. Yes, and I'm not going to go and refilm this again just because I, said repayment instead of repayment. My student loans and where they are kind of reflective of, they're not paid off. And I graduated, it's a Monday, 20 July 2026 AD. I'm Tanis of Seattle, and then I graduated with my Bachelor of Science degree in Geology and Geophysics with a minor in Mathematics from the University of Hawaii at Manoa in Honolulu, Hawaii in August 2015. And my commencement that I walked it and was in May 2015. And I have not paid off my student loans. And so it's like, I've talked through some scenarios for different income levels. I've talked about I think if I'm feeling ambitious, go back and see if I can find it. A lump sum approach of kind of like paying it off in one go. And I was like, if I were to come in, so there, the student loans are at that, it's every half year, the interest is about $1,000, but if the interest rates are fixed, as in like it's fixed percentage, like it's always 10%, then as the interest accumulates, the total amount of student loans continues to grow. So while the 10% is the same, the amount every 6 months increases. So it's like about 1,000 every 6 months, but as it increases, it can be more. For me, currently, and of recent past. So there's a little bit of, if I were to get a chunk of money, this is that repayment approach where that refers to me getting enough money to pay them off in one go. So I was like, would I do it? Yeah, I'd be like, go in and be like, he's gonna be like, the intent is like single payment. How much are they? Pay it all off, Okay, so it was like, and for me, it is that simple, that stripped down. So how I was like, for me, how do I get that money? Okay, so this is what I could come up with. One, I've talked about this before. Paycheck from my Mr. David Beckham. Like I move in with my soulmate and my Mr. David Beckham hires me, kind of thing. And I get a paycheck and I can pay it off. So there we go. 1. 2, my Papa Craig. I'm actually adopted, and my Papa Craig goes, I would have liked to paid for your college. However, you were adopted under a closed adoption contract, which was still in effect. So I couldn't. So I'd like to contribute now how I could, how I would have liked to back then, which I like your work and what you do. And I like to see you be happy. So I might not have paid for all of it back then. Anyway, however, paying for the student loans, it was just a portion of my financing of college. So in that sense, he's like, it's kind of true to me, to you, and to us, me paying it off. So money from my Papa Craig Gillespie, me being adopted. 3, soulmate / friend. This is like I move in with my Josh, and like day 2 of moving, so to speak, my Jacob Elordi shows up and he's like, I want to pay off your student loans, but like I want to give you the money to pay off the student loans, because like I'm gonna give you the money and then you can choose to do with it what you want, but my intent is student loans. And do we share that? Like, can I give you that money and like you stay true to that and us, and we stay soulmate, we stay friend, and that it's a shared, communicated up front. That's kind of we'll go through it, and you can include me or not, or maybe you just do the YouTube and I can watch the YouTube videos. Kind of fun thing like that. So that's the 3rd one. 4th one, money from investor for my physiology / cardiology stuff. Maybe they even have access to my medical records. Yeah, so I've been doing cardiology self-experimentation, cardiology study, for me anyway, of the human heart and the corresponding blood flow system. And I have, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, 5 counted years of more than one blood pressure measurement taken in a doctor's office each year. And for that, maybe they have access to that. Maybe they have my YouTube stuff, maybe some combination. And they go, I want to invest in you, so I get money that way. 5, money from my Elvis Presley via his will and testament. And I'm like, does that come from a courier? They decide to disperse, to allocate a little bit to see how I respond to the money. I put this in a video, right? That I would use it for student loans if it were enough. Do I stay true to that? A fidelity test. Yeah. So there we go. That's a 90 days brute force approach to student loans and a VAT repayment approach. And 90 days here is kind of a standard operating procedure of, if I get that chunk of money, that's enough. Figure it out. Like, not I move in with somebody, not I get a job. It's the money is arrived and I can pay it off in a lump sum or a one go kind of approaches. And that approach, that repayment approach, right? 90 days is a start working on it when it arrives. Like, step 1 might not be saying submit payment, right, to the student loans people, the entities, institutions. It might be depositing the money so I can make that payment, right? So being cognizant of 90 days can be in person, physical, it can be online, it can be versatile, varied might be a better word.